Hello Galactic family. Dear ones. Many of you are seeing your fears displayed by the media. Perhaps you were involved in similar situations in previous lives, so instead of noting the flim-flammery of it, you revert to the fear and pain created by the actions of yourself or others. Now is not yesterday nor even 5 minutes ago. So there is nothing to compare to the happenings now politically, globally, or personally. Even though events might bring back shadow memories of what happened previously, those events cannot be the same because you are different, as are the majority of those living on Earth at this time. Your fear history cannot be repeated. Such is possible only when one lesson is emphasized, and all participants agree with that lesson. Because fear was the overriding Earth lesson the past few eons, fear touched each of your Earth lives over and over again. But that was then. The lesson of now is love. And millions of you have dedicated yourself to that love lesson with many more to follow. So it is that the fear you now feel personally or globally cannot reach the same conclusion as was true when the global lesson was fear. Of course, you might wish to readdress your fears to determine the most loving outcome possible. For that is what your inner being is now doing despite your outer fears. Perhaps you find that thought difficult to imagine, for you still believe in some parts of your being that miracles cannot and will not occur. That the miracle, as you now label anything that is not fear of a rapid and loving conclusion to your fears, is not possible, for you know with every fiber of your outer being that all is wrong and will follow the fear road instead of the seemingly impossible love vein so many channels are touting. Such is so because you still relate to the fears emphasized by the media, as well as those few fears you have rumbling around your nooks and crannies. You can feel all the fear you wish to feel, but such is no longer necessary. For your fears are becoming smaller by the day, and your need to love and for love is expanding far beyond anything you can imagine. The fears you continue to feel are remnants of who you were, not who you are. A bit like accepting a new position you do not feel qualified for, even though those who selected you to know without a doubt that you are. So the first few weeks of your new position, doubts creep into your being until the day you finally accept all that you are and all you are capable of. Such is you now regarding new you. You know you are a new being, yet doubts of the reality of your new being creep in at times. Allow those doubts to be, knowing that you are growing into new you, and you will have doubts until you do so. Which returns us to the current global picture of fear and angst. This fear and angst is a reflection of who you are now, but most definitely not who you will be. Let us return to our example of your new job assignment. When you are in fear, every being who questions your ability strikes to the heart of your fears. In time, you realize that those who doubt your competencies are wrong. But before you determine that their assessment of you is not accurate, you have to prove it to yourself. So it is now. We can tell you that you are fully capable of creating a new life of love for yourself. But until you trust that fear is no longer part of your new you description, you will continue to find remnants of doubt and fear. Fear, even though much weaker than your expanding self-love and global love, that will circumvent love until you believe throughout your being that you are stronger, more loving, and joyous than any bits of fear stuck here and there within your being. You have to prove to yourself that your new you is your reality. Such will happen minute by minute despite your tiny fears that all is not right in your world. For your fears will be overwhelmed by your desire to fully enmesh yourself in love. Day by day, that self-love, global love is growing exponentially, as your fears diminish. But then, do not berate yourself for any remaining fears. Just know that they will disappear in short order. All that is required of you now is to live in joy and love. By doing so, you are not only shifting your focus from fear to love, you are helping shift the earth to a new earth bathed in love. So be it. Amen.